There's a feud going on between Sam Seder and Emma Vigeland of The Majority Report and Ana Kasparian of The Young Turks over crime statistics, how crime statistics are reported, the notion of local crime versus national crime statistics, and they don't see eye to eye on this and are seemingly having a feud. Sam Seder addressed this on his show, The Majority Report, today. We're going to take a look at clips of Sam Seder talking about this. I'll share my thoughts from time to time. Let's get into it.
Hi. Hi, Sam and Matt. This is Stephen in Dublin, Ireland.
Stephen in Dublin, Ireland. What's happening, Stephen?
So I listen to and watch quite a lot of politics in America. I've listened to your show for years. Did listen to TYT and watched TYT for a long time. Unfortunately, with the issues with Anna, in particularly talking about trans issues, just kind of turned me off it. And recently, I also listened to and watched Breaking Points with Crystal and Sagar. So unfortunately, the other day there was they were speaking about the Haitian migrants story that was made up, and Sagar was just extremely racist as usual, and even brought in Irish people into it and said about Irish people causing prohibition, when we came into America, and that was the reason why the drunk Irish had to, you had to ban the alcohol to stop us.
What?
Now, yeah.
Well, I have no doubt that in some circles that was used as an excuse.
Of course, and we, that is something that kind of still people say about the Irish, but I think we would use it as a good example of, even though we're white, we were treated particularly badly, similar to the Italians, in New York. Look, I find that part funny, but also he has kind of been bringing up trans issues and being kind of transphobic. And I really love Crystal. And so I suppose the question that I have for you, I don't want to stop, listening to different news sources just because somebody has a different opinion. I do like the idea of their show that it's somebody that's more on the left and someone more on the right, but they're basically apolitical. What is your opinion on kind of that style of show? And do you think it works? Do you think it helps people kind of understand left issues more? Or do you
I'm not going to pretend like I watch either of the shows that you've mentioned on a regular basis. I just don't. I don't watch. I don't watch other people's shows really for the most part. I just I read more often than not. I'll see clips. I think there are definitely, times where I have found very helpful things from Crystal. To be honest with you, not so much the Young Turks, but to be honest, just being honest here. And I have to say that, I have not followed that much of the Young Turks, but I have seen clips where, Anna has talked about, the fact that everybody's calling her a birthing person or something to that effect, which I find extremely hard to believe that there's been more than one person that's ever said that to her. But whatever, be that as it may, I don't care if it's 10. Who cares? Grow up. We just see, stuff like... they've also been harping about how crime statistics are out of control. The fact of the matter is that in 2023, crime is down in this country with something like 90% of police departments in the country now reporting. They like to pretend that less than that have been reporting. They put up this Crowder, that dude. He put up something. And the fact of the matter is that the most recent crime statistics. You've got me a little bit off topic, but this set me up because I'm not, I'm not a media critic, but I am a critic of BS that is being pushed by people.
So before Sam gets too much more in depth with this, I wanted to say that, sort of full disclosure, I've watched The Majority Report with Sam Seder and, for years. And then Emma Vigeland has been on there for a few years. And the same thing with the Young Turks, with Ana Kasparian and Cenk Uygur. I've watched them for years and years. So I like both shows. We have so much of a Coke versus Pepsi mentality in our society where it's like you have to like one thing and then that means you automatically dislike the other. So I'm sure there are people out there who love the Majority Report but hate TYT, and love TYT and hate the Majority Report. I'm a fan of both shows. I don't agree with either show 100% of the time. I think, there are a lot of things they say that I agree with and things that I don't agree with. But this, and I did another video about this with Ana Kasparian, breaking all this down. And basically what this is all about is Ana Kasparian is saying that the left, and she uses the Majority Report and Sam Seder and Emma Vigeland as an example, are saying that local crime statistics don't really matter because crime overall in the country is down as a whole. And Ana Kasparian is saying that these people on the left are disingenuous and they're lying about this and they don't care about the people. They only care about their agenda, which I don't really know what the agenda is. I think it's vaguely an anti-cop agenda is what Ana Kasparian is saying. And you can look at that video on my channel or the Young Turks channel. Sam doesn't really get into that here as far as what this agenda might be. So I don't really know what the beef is exactly. And I don't know exactly where it's coming from, if it's more Ana Kasparian or it's more Sam Seder. But basically, Ana Kasparian is saying the national statistics don't matter. And sort of in a nutshell, Sam is saying that the local statistics don't matter that much. That's really simplifying it a lot, but that's kind of the gist of it.
And put up that murder dropped in this country from 2022 to 2023. Violent crime was down about 3%, although it was up for hate crimes for LGBTQ people. And here it is. Overall, and this is coming from NBC News, overall, the FBI's National Incident-Based Reporting System collected information, because here, put up that tweet. Do we have that tweet from Crowder's producer?
I'm not sure which.
I had it in the Slack.
Okay, I'll look.
From Gerald or whatever that guy's name is.
Okay.
I mean, I'm only bringing this up, and like I say, I'm not a media critic. I don't know. I haven't watched enough of Sagar and Crystal's show to know. I've seen clips that I've found very helpful from Crystal. And the clips, frankly, I've seen from TYT. I'm not going to pretend like I watch that show on a regular basis either. But I do know that the complaints about crime over there, I mean, it's like local news. They'll take one, crime and then hype it and make some type of data around it. But here, this is what Gerald wrote. This is Crowder's producer. Which granted did not participate. What is he responding to? I think is somebody said, where are the statistics that say that crime isn't down? Because he had made that claim. This map. 6,000 agencies submitted no 2022 data, 32% of all police agencies. He's complaining because he's saying that the 2022 statistics are wrong because only 70 or 68% of the police departments submitted information. Well, now, and of course he has to point to 2022 because he doesn't want you to see that in 2023, we now have 94.3% of the country reporting in. Agencies that cover 94.3% of the country. 700 additional agencies in 2023 compared to 2022 on that National Incident-Based Reporting System. And the fact of the matter is that crime is down. In fact, the only crime that is up, speaking about misinformation, the only crime that is up is shoplifting. Recorded events of shoplifting were up from about 1 million in 2022 to 1.15 in 2023. The interesting thing about that, rise, it now brings us to 2019 levels. In other words, all the time that we heard that shoplifting was going crazy, the smash and grabs and this and that, shoplifting was actually down in 2021 and 2022 and in 2020 because of COVID. And it's up now to where it was pre-COVID.
Well, because the shoplifters are just hearing about the George Floyd effect, where it's worn out on other types of crime.
They were future predicting the George Floyd effect. But so I guess, Steve, I gave you a really unsatisfying answer. I don't know whether you should continue to watch that show. If there's value in watching it despite Sagar's transphobia. But I can tell you that the transphobia that, and, if you tell me he spouses it, I believe you. It's not hard for me to imagine. But that I've seen come from places like TYT or, Crowder or whomever it is. And the crime hysteria, it's sort of fascinating. The crime is actually down, except for the hate crimes against folks in the trans community because of this type of rhetoric.
And this is something that, that Sam Seder has talked about for years on his show. We had a spike in crime during COVID, but the last several years in general, crime is way lower than it was in like the early 90s. So we've had a downward trend in crime in general in the United States for a long, long time. I don't really know, if Ana Kasparian is saying that the left has this agenda on crime. Again, I don't know what it is. I don't know what TYT's agenda and Ana Kasparian's agenda is. But like Sam Seder said, they are kind of getting into where like it's almost a local news thing where, you watch any local news and it's all these stories just designed to scare people. This group is coming to get you and these people are trying to rip you off and all of that. So, and Sam Seder is pointing out that no, nationwide, the crime is down. Now, it could, it's possible in a person's local area that their crime is up, but this is something that right-wingers use all the time, every election, and we're seeing it in this presidential election with Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, that this idea that the United States is just this wasteland of crime and, there's an immigrant under your bed right now ready to murder you, or the second you step out on the street, Antifa is going to come and get you. I mean, that's what Fox News is saying to mainly older people because they're the audience of Fox News every single day. And that, looking at the statistics, it's just not the reality of the United States. And that's what Sam Seder is pointing out. Now, if that's an agenda, I don't know. That's not for me to say. But who do you agree with here? Are you on Sam Seder's side in the majority report that, yeah, there can be pockets of crime around the country, but overall crime is down in the United States and it's not at the level that the media and a lot of politicians, mainly right-wing politicians, want to portray? Or do you agree with Ana Kasparian and the Young Turks that we're being lied to and that crime is actually worse than what's being reported because it's being misreported and misrepresented by the FBI, and Sam Seder and these other people on the left have some kind of agenda against crime statistics? Make sure to leave me a comment about this, about Sam Seder, Ana Kasparian, anything else that you want to comment on. I love reading and seeing and responding to your comments. They help my channel to grow. I'm well over 20,000 subscribers now. I want to keep growing. The channel's growing really quickly. I'm able to do that with your comments, your likes, and your subscribe. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It'll help me to continue to grow and bring out more content like this. This is Chris on Culture. I will see you in the next video.